guys, it's Amy from Amy's Little Bit of Everything. How you doing? I'm doing all right. Jazz hands, silk flappers, fishy lips, and butterfly. If you did that with me, you were young at heart. And if you didn't, fast forward that part. You didn't like it, you didn't need it, so fast forward it. All right, so there. Okay, I am doing applesauce today. This is a true win-win applesauce recipe that everyone will like. You can add the cinnamon or no cinnamon. You can put as much sugar as you want in it. If you're a diabetic like me, I put less sugar. And like sometimes if I know I'm going to give it to a gift, I might put a little bit more sugar. But anyways, I go through this is the best book ever to have. Whoa. I'm losing pages because it's completely full. Best book ever. If you ever need to purchase a book, it will be well worth it. The applesauce recipe I am working on today is on page 18, and it is the best. So there it is. And all it calls for is 22 to 32 medium apples. I always add more because it takes more and you got some bad spots out in that. And then we've got the, this is the first year I started using this. And really helpful because it keeps your apples from turning brown real fast. It keeps them white and nice looking. And then 1 to 1.5 cups of water. We started doing just 1 cup because 1 cup doesn't make it real thick. It depends. If you want it real thick, don't add any water at all. If you want it thin, then add your 1.5 cups. We do 1 cup. And then your sugar, of course, it says 1 to 3/4 cups to 2.5 cups of sugar. My apples were kind of like, they weren't as sweet. So I added, didn't we add the 2.5 cups? We added the 2.5 cups. And now the diabetic ones, I'll probably add less. But with flavoring, I want some flavor in there. And we had already gave our neighbor some, and he said it was the best applesauce he had ever had. So, and he already sent me a message on Messenger. And we are going to get started. Jeff brought in my apples. So we're going to count out, what do we say, 70? We're going to do 70 apples today. So we're going to go ahead and get them out, get them in the sink, and I'll show you how we peel them. I showed you last time in the apple pie recipe, but I'm going to show you again. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, Jeff wanted me to come back on and tell you that the reason why we're using like 70 apples is because you have a little one and a big one. A lot of our apples are like this size. So, you know, that's pretty small. So we just double. It says 32, so we're just doubling a little bit plus more. If I have leftover applesauce, it's fine. I can as much as I can. And then whatever we have, if we have leftover and it doesn't fill a jar, then we'll just eat it. So that's why I just wanted to make that clear just in case anybody was like, wow, 70 apples when it calls for 32. Our apples, sometimes they're even smaller than that. Sometimes they're bigger than that. And these apples this year wasn't that best, and they have some of the bad areas that we'll be cutting out. So I'll just cut those bad areas out and we just throw them away. So we're getting our system set up here, and I'll get back with you when we get it all together. Okay guys, we got our apples picked out with ones we want. We do have some bad areas we're going to cut out. If we can save them, we'll save them. If we can't, we'll get rid of them. No big deal. Jeff, he's been doing the peeling for me, and he's been a good piller. Let me get Jeff's head in there. And so he's been a good piller. Hold on just a minute, guys. I want to tell him something. Okay, guys. Now, we're getting our station set up. We got our apples. This is my, trash bucket that I'm going to use sitting right here. This is where I'm going to put all my good apple parts when he gets done with them. I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of this in my water here. And then, Jeff, how are you going to do your station? He's going to bring his trash can over so he'll be ready to throw things away. Were we going to do apple juice today? Or you want to do apple juice with the apple butter later?
No matter. Do we need it?
I could.
Okay, we need it.
All right, so we're going to save apples. So let's see. Let me get you a... well, you know what? Just throw your stuff in here. And we'll just get it cooked down. just go ahead and put that on high and then boil it down. Okay. All right, guys. So go ahead and show them what you do. And then when he gets the bad parts, he's just going to throw it in that canister right there. And then he sets them here. He sets them here, and then I do my thing, and then we go from there. Yep. Throwing all the rind and everything in there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this. What?
Lifesaver.
Lifesaver. I know. I told him on my last video, this is the best thing you can get if you're going to do apples. I used to peel them by hand, guys. I know I've told you this before, and it was awful. It took me all day just to peel. Now we stick them on here. I even got a backup just in case this one breaks. Because I went ahead and ordered one. And I was like, I'm sorry, Jeff. I have to spend the money to get one because if this one breaks, I got to have a backup. But so far, they've lasted, really well. So we're going to get started here, and we'll come back to you for the next step. Okay, guys, this is, I didn't think it'd get any darker than that. How dark is it? Hold on a minute, I'm going to check the apple salt, or the apple juice. Okay, so this container right here is full of our, like the peelings and all that. So we cook that down and we get our apple juice from there. So how I do the apple juice now, I'm not going to do anything with the apple juice today because I'm focusing on the applesauce. But what Jeff is going to do, he's going to take this, pour it in here, and we're going to strain it because we don't want anything in our juice. So be careful, Jeffrey.
Apple steam bath.
And then you also get an apple steam bath. Yeah.
Move that.
This right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to fill this one back up with water because now we got to cook our apple slices down. So that's what we're going to do here. And then once we take this out, I don't know how well you can see, but that's apple juice. And we don't put any sweetener in it. It cans better if we leave the sweetener out. And then if I want to sweeten it later, we do. And I usually don't. Okay, so let us get back to getting our apple peel or our apples slices into this so we can get it cooking down. All right, thanks. Okay, guys, no, I gotta put the strainer in there. Whenever you use a fresh fruit preserver, you have to rinse your apples. I don't know. They just say, you don't want to eat it. So what I do is after I got my new water in there is I take these and I'll pour them in here. Then I rinse them off. And you just got to give them a good rinse. That's about it. That's good. And then what we do is I put these back in here. And then I give them to Jeff. You want this? Or you just gonna put them in with your hand? Okay. And then he puts them in the hot water. It's not hot yet. But so then this big bowl right here full of apples, I'll just reach in here and just kind of rinse them off like this. But that preserver stuff is so worth it. And I don't know. It just says rinse it off. So I don't know if it, does something to the canning or maybe it leaves a aftertaste or, something like that. But otherwise, that was that bad when I come to that. I knew I dropped some in there. So, all I know is you just want to rinse them. And it's not a big deal. It just says rinse. So then after we do that, it's so nice having Jeff in the kitchen with me and helping me. Isn't it, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
After he retired, sometimes he comes in here and he helps me out, and I appreciate it so much because last year he was working and I basically was doing this all by myself. And it's just nice having him help. All right. Stem in there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is after I rinse these off, then we just gotta let our apples cook down to where they get soft. And you want to cook them down a little bit because we're going to puree them for the applesauce. Well, I got a few more pieces there. And then while I'm waiting on that, I kind of clean up my mess. I'm probably going to transfer that apple juice over to a pitcher, you know, this guy. And then I let it set out. And if I have time, I will do apple juice. It takes apple juice, I think, like 10 minutes. I mean, it's so easy. You just do your jars. You sanitize your jars. Oh, yeah, we got the big guy going for sanitizing jars. But you sanitize your jars. You put the apple juice. You got to cook the apple juice to make it warm. So then you put it in your hot jars when they're done sanitizing. You put them in the pressure cooker. Or not the pressure cooker. We do water bath for everything. And then I think it's like 10 minutes, and then it's done. And we don't have any apple juice to show them, do we? Not in here. Okay, so right now, this is what we're waiting on. I'm going to clean up. And Jeff's going to probably go outside. Jeff, be nice. See what I got to put up with. Okay, and then we'll go from there, and then I'll be back. Okay, guys. What I was thinking is my apples are going to cook for a few. And then Jeff's eating candy. I told you he eats all the candy thing. I always tell him when I go to the Dollar Tree and get you candy, that's for you. So we got the jars over there heating up. They're going to sanitize for 10 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and do our apple juice. So I've got my apple juice sitting here. So when the jars come out of there, I fill them up. You know how I fill them up. I just get me I will use my ladle. I'll probably use this. And then I just fill up my jars. I clean the rims. And then, perfect. And then if you don't care to put the lid back on, is it up on high? Okay. And then we'll put them in there. Once I get the apple juice in the jars, I'll show you that, and then we'll put them in the water bath for 10 minutes, and then we'll be done with our apple juice. All right. Yeah, thought that was a good idea. All right, I'll be back. Okay, guys, if you're gonna do like applesauce, apple pie, anything like that, you might as well save your rinds and everything, cook them down and make apple juice, because that's just kind of like a freebie, you know, for you. So what I do is, see, my apple juice is still steaming hot. So I got my jars out of the hot water. So what I do is I just take, you can use your ladle. I've got a bigger ladle. This little one I have more control over. You can even, I can even use this if I want to, like your cup measure and that. You can even put it in there like that. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you can get to get in there and get in the jar. So I think it's an inch headspace. I'm going to go ahead and give it an inch anyways, because I seem to do really good at that one. I'm not going to sit here and fill all these up for you. I just wanted to show you how easy it was. And while your other stuff is cooking, and you might as well be doing this because it only takes 10 minutes. Apple juice is like the easiest thing I think I can do. And I love this coloring of the apple juice. This is so good for you because it's just pure apple. It has no preservatives, nothing like that in there. Okay, so then after that, I got that a little bit more than an inch headspace, but that's okay. So after that, I'm going to clean it with my vinegar, go around the rim, get my hot lid from here, screw it on, finger tight, and put it in my water bath for 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then when it's all done, I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, guys, as you can see, I got 5 quarts. Jeff wanted me to tell you guys that, and then this is vinegar. I'm going to clean around the rim. The cleaner your rim, the better it seals. Jeff said, well, why don't you tell them what we use our apple juice for instead of just drinking it? I use it for next year's canning for our peach and pears canning, because my peach pie, I put a little bit of apple juice in it for the broth, or for the liquid. So we'll use it for our peaches. I put my pears in apple juice. It just gives it that extra little taste. Just is really good. So we don't just use our apple juice for drinking. I use it for several other things. So like I said, for next year's canning, whenever I'm getting ready to do our pears and peaches, Jeff will go from the thing, and we usually go through it, and then that's when we clean it out, and then I'll do it for the next year. Or next year, then I'll do the applesauce for the next year after that. So that's just another idea. If you're planning on canning, you can always use this for your liquids. And then of course we could drink it. Just other things you can use it for, whatever you can, use a liquid for, you can use it just to give it that extra, I don't know, that country home down taste. It gives it that taste. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead. I got these cleaned off. I will show you. I'm going to go ahead and go one more time. I'm real picky about cleaning my rims off. Some people do it just one time around and they're all done. But I get a really good seal each time. And yes, sometimes I don't. And that's understandable. I'm sorry, I thought somebody called me. And that's understandable because you're not going to get a seal every time. And what we do when we don't, we just eat it. But you got your lids back here boiling. Some people are getting out of doing that. I like to do this because this all helps in the seal, because you want a good seal. And I just seen that this is my best way of getting it sealed. And then you can put it away and store it. And that one was a little bit shorter, but that's okay. It will still can, or it'll still can and seal. And then you put your rings on there, finger tight, all you want. Jeff, will you put this in the hot water for me? I'm just asking him to help me out. My hands and wrist are giving me a little trouble today. You can set that back here, friend. Yep, there. Yeah, I just feel like I can't get a good grip when I get a hold of him. So, well, I got him in here. He can get ready to go out. And then we'll finish up on our applesauce, and I'll show you how I do it. I put my apple size. I can't talk today. I never can talk, right, Jeff? People are going to get upset with you, Jeff. Here, get in this jar. I've got him in here. His head just stuck out. These are my favorite jars. I love 1.5 pints. And the wide mouth. I love wide mouth jars. I don't know why, but he got these out. These, our daughter got these jars for us. Oh my gosh, how many? There's like 500 jars for...
No.
Or what?
It was 35.
35 cases. For how much?
$50.
$50. Amazing. And these were all in here. They were all older, and I loved them. So, but I love the wide mouth 1.5 pint. My favorite. And that's what we put our applesauce in. And here was, I don't know if I showed our applesauce from the other day, but here's our applesauce from the other day. And this is without cinnamon. And are we going to put cinnamon in this today?
Half-inch over is enough.
Yes. Are we going to put cinnamon in them today?
And more.
The applesauce?
That's up to you.
Because we've got those. You want them plain, or you want me to add cinnamon? All right. Okay, we'll just have to make that executive decision later. Okay, so he's got it, honey, get the lid on. So he's got it in our water. We're going to turn that on for 10 minutes. And then after it gets done, I will pull it out and then I will show you. And we will be back. Okay, guys. Now, how you get your applesauce. I have a big mixer, but this one is little and it keeps me from making a big of a mess because I don't know if anybody out there is like me, but I have the bigger one. I put more in and I spill it, and I don't know. And with my arthritis in my hand and stuff, the littler one works better for me. So you use whatever you want to use. Plus, I've had some people comment and say, you know, some people that don't know what they're doing might get poisoned from their canning stuff. But you guys, you just got to take it upon yourself. You got to read the book. You got to make sure you know what you're doing, how long, how much time. Make sure you clean the rims. Make sure you do the sterilization. I mean, I do all those steps. I got started like that, you know, and but I've had some people say, well, what if you get sick? You know, what if something happens, you know? Well, that's just the responsibility you have to take. I mean, you could get sick from a can of green beans from the store too if they didn't properly get them done, or if they were punctured or something like that and you don't know it. I mean, I hope nothing like that happens and it ever happens to me or my family or anybody. But, you know, you just got to read it. And, like, that's why I always say, get a good book, one that you can trust. My mom always trusts this one, so I trust it. So, but anyways, that's enough being said that. What I do is I get me a scoop, and it doesn't matter. This is just a 1 cup, but I don't measure anything on this. I just fill it up to where I think I could grind this down enough. I don't like it to get too full because, like I said, my arthritis, I can get too messy with it. Now, I'm not going to do this on camera because it is kind of loud, so I'll be back after I get it done. Okay, guys, this is about the consistency that me and Jeff like. It's just like you buy it in the store. It's like that. You can leave it. I have some people that like it chunky. Some people who like it real pureed. Some people like it thick. Some people like it runny. Like I said for you, I like mine kind of thick, but Jeff's like his in the middle. So the recipe, you know how I said it, you add 1.5 cups. We've just been adding a cup of water. So that's about it. So what I do then is I take this, I put this in my pan. I will go through and do, Bear sees his dad outside. Because now Jeff has moved outside now. So I put that in there. Put this back on here. You want to put your blade back in, and then I get another scoop. And then I do that until pretty much this is filled up. But you start right there with that. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get this all done. It doesn't take very long, but I know you guys don't want to sit on here and watch me do that. Okay, guys, I got my jars ready. They're sterilized and good and hot. So the way I do my applesauce is once it's done, it's in here, and it's in this pot. I know you can't see that well. But I ladle it out, put it in here, and give it an inch head space. And it looks so pretty. And I'm not going to add cinnamon to it because we love cinnamon, but I had made some in my last batch, and I think I'm just going to let this be plain. So I'm not gonna make you guys sit through all this. I don't think I'm gonna fill all these jars. I will have to wait and see. I was hoping I would. I'm gonna come close, but I'm not gonna be able to. So let me go ahead and ladle these in, and I will come back and show you the end result. Okay, guys, here's my applesauce. I got 4 or 5, 6. I only got 6 pint and a half. The other one I just didn't have enough, so I just set it back here. But Jeff ran to the Amish store for me. Oh, that was a crack. I love having the Amish store like 2 minutes from our house. I was almost out of that preservative stuff that I was telling you about, and I mean, I truly believe in that because it does. I mean, unless you don't care for it to brown your apples. And it works for anything. It works peaches, pears, anything. Because I like that crisp look like in my apple pie over here. I just like that look in there. And that thing, that preservative thing, just keeps them so fresh looking. And they look so fresh that I asked him if he'd go get me some more. Because I think I was about to run out. So he went to go to the Amish store for me. But like I said, I love having that Amish store so close. It's just so rewarding to have it there. Okay. I'm going to start setting these in here. And then this will be my applesauce. And then My next video, I'm going to do apple butter. I hope I don't bore you guys with my canning. I know some people love it, some people do it, and I know some of you guys like have no desire to do it. But I would rather can my own food than buy it at the store anymore. Because you never know what they're putting in there. And I don't mean to, scare anybody or not, but I don't know. If I can do this, I'll do it as long as I can. And until I can't anymore. And then I'll just have to go a different route. But I just love canning, and I love giving it to family and sharing it. It's just so nice. But anyways, getting those in there. And we'll let these go. It says 20 minutes, but because and it says quarts or pints, 20 minutes. But I'm going to put mine about 25 minutes because my water's still hot, but I like to have it boiling a little. I'm going to put a little bit more water in there. Just use this. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I try to talk loud when I walk over to the oven. And I used to work in long-term nursing care, Alzheimer's unit, and for the longest time, I didn't know how to whisper because in those places, you have to talk pretty loud. I mean, unless you had a hearing aid and I didn't have to talk loud. But most of them would lose a hearing aid or misplace it or something. And all this hot in here, my nose is starting to run. But I go to work and I would be talking to the top of my voice, and then I come home, I'd be like, yeah, yeah. He'd be like, why are you yelling? I'm like, I'm not. Yeah, you are. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I toned it down a little bit. So I'm used to talking like that anyways, which our family's loud anyways. There's half of us is loud and half of us is quiet. But, and we know which one we are. So, but anyways. Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to set my timer for 25 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my mess. That's the key, you guys, also. My mom always taught me that. She's like, whenever you're cooking or canning anything, clean as you go. Because then your mess looks less. Because then when you're at the end and you're tired from doing all the canning, everything's up here. Everything's piled here, right here, where you can't see it. But then all you gotta do is once it dries, put it away. I let my dishes dry on their own. I mean, I hand dry. We have a dishwasher. It doesn't work. Jeff wanted to replace it with a new one, and I said, no, I don't really care. I do everything by hand. And that's just me. Maybe. And if anybody has a dishwasher, there's times where I wish I would have one because I'm tired or I'm sick that day. But yeah, that's when I would like one. So I might get one in time. I don't know. As I get older, I might just say, I don't want to do those dishes. But anyways, I'm good with washing them by hand. But yeah, as you clean as you go, that's a really good tip. I was just trying to think. And I always have everything laid out ready to go. Like, always think, what's your next step? Have that ready to go. And, I mean, if you can. But other than that, okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn those on 25 minutes, clean up my mess, and then I will come back when it's done, and you guys can see it. Okay, guys, I don't know how long this video is going to be. This new phone does not show me how long we've done. But I'm getting ready to do apple butter, and it's almost the exact same thing as applesauce. But it does have a different recipe. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grind that down and make it like an applesauce type of a thing. And what I do is I go off my ball handbook, and then I go on the apple butter recipe, and this is page 44. 44 apple butter. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and grind this down. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the stove, and it takes, 4 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a fourth teaspoon of clove. And this will make 6 half pints or 3 pint jars. I'm going to double the recipe to make 6 pints, I think. I'm going to make 8. I'm thinking I can have enough for 8. So that's what it consists of. So I'm going to go ahead and do those steps, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, guys, I'm going to end my video here. I got everything. I'm now fixing supper. I don't want to fix supper, but I'm hungry and he's hungry. This is the apple butter that I just took out, and it is so delicious. The clove makes it really good. Maybe think of fall. I got my little hot pad out for that. And then just set you down here. And then this is some apple juice, really still hot, but look how pretty that is. And this is my applesauce that I took out just a little bit ago. So we've got applesauce, apple butter, apple juice, and apple pie filling. So I have done a lot today and I am tired, but I want to do a Temu haul if my battery's not dead. Alright guys, I am so glad to share this time with you. And I know I have some good comments and some bad, but it just comes with the territory. It doesn't bother me. Everybody is usually pretty nice. You get those ones that's like, why are you canning? And will your food spoil? And do you know what you're doing? So I just know what I've seen and what I've done and, you know, in the past, and watched my mom do it her whole life. So, you know, we're just going to go from there. I want to get a few videos out for my Temu haul for tomorrow. So if I'm up to it, I got to get supper done first and then clean up the rest of the kitchen, which is not that bad. I clean as I go. But if I can get it out, I want to go to the funeral for my brother's mother-in-law. I'm trying to get that glare off my glasses and it's not working. And anyways, oh, and I was going to tell everybody, I'm going to try to put the recipe for the apple pie filling up in my community page, because I've got some people ask about it. I can't do it directly. YouTube doesn't let me put it in the description with a photo. I don't know if since I got the new phone if it'll let me, but I'll try. And if not, I'll go back and answer the people. Yeah, and I got to answer comments tonight too. So hold on and I'll get to them. All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here, so I don't want supper to burn because I'm hungry. All right, guys, put a smile on your face. Put a smile on somebody else's face. It's a win-win situation. Who wouldn't want more smiles and more apples? Apples, I say. I know I do, and I bet you do too. All right, guys, have a God bless day. Be kind, stay humble, and yeah, until next video. Bye.